Connie Warren, a resident of the town of Baldwin in the county of Cumberland, Maine. Greetings. Certify that I've notified the voters of Baldwin of the time and place of the special town meeting by posting an attested copy of the within warrant at the East Baldwin Post Office, West Baldwin Post Office, Town Clerk's Office, the Baldwin School Town Office, and the Whistle Stop within Baldwin on July 9, 2019, which is at least 7 days next prior to Election Day. In the name of the state of Maine, you are hereby required to notify and warn the inhabitants of the said town of Baldwin, qualified by law, to vote in said town affairs, to assemble at the town office, Baldwin in said town on Tuesday, the 16th day of July, 2019, at 6:30 p.m. to act on the following articles to wit. Article 1, to choose or elect a moderator to preside at said meeting. Any nominations?
Well, I'll nominate Larry Lord.
Larry Lord? Can I have a couple of handwritten ballots?
You need three.
Huh?
You need three.
Three what?
No.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't trust you, no.
I know you.
I need one more. Larry don't trust you? We got three Larrys.
Can we recount?
Huh?
Can we recount?
Yeah. Ready to get sworn in?
Yeah.
Alright. Larry, do you swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state so long as you shall continue a citizen thereof?
I do.
Do you swear that you will faithfully discharge to the best of your ability the duties incumbent upon you as moderator of this meeting according to the Constitution and the law of the state?
I do. It kind of works.
All right. You're all set to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think everybody knows me, and I did moderate the town meeting for 26 years, and then decided a number of years ago that I'd rather be in the audience than here. But I like Danielle, and Danielle called me today and said, no.
Was this a put-up job?
I didn't have her as a student. I had these three guys all as students. This is maybe a way for me to get even with them. Debbie's got office hours tonight, and so she's leaving.
Yes.
And I've read enough manuals, so I have asked Danielle to take minutes of the meeting, to be appointed, to help me tally votes, to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then she'll get the minutes to Debbie.
Okay. Thank you.
Typically, the meetings are run by the main moderator's manual, which is fairly nebulous, but offers a lot of suggestions to people. And I typically read the article, ask for a second, and after I ask for a second, I then open it to debate. And typically, the person that's supporting the article, I ask to speak first. If anybody else in the audience wishes to speak, you have to address the moderator, and the moderator will address somebody else in the audience, and likewise. There are 5 different ways you can vote. You can have a voice vote, hand, standing vote, division of the House, and a written ballot. And White asked earlier today if we could have a hand vote. He'd like to keep an accurate count of the vote, and that's pretty difficult to do just by a voice vote. With unanimous consent, if there's any debate about that, we'll take a vote, but with unanimous consent, I would agree that we would do a hand vote unless I hear an objection from somebody. Hearing no objections, I think most of you have been, I know every one of you have been in enough town meetings that, you know, for example, if an article reads to raise $20,000 for a fire truck, and somebody raises their hand and says, I want to raise $40,000. That cannot happen. You can reduce the amount in the article, but you cannot increase it. In addition, you can't change where the money comes from. If the selectmen put in the account that the money comes from the contingency account, no one can say, can we take it from a different account? And the logic seems fairly fair. The logic is the people, hopefully, the people who read the shopper's guide, saw the warrant, said, I know how much money they're asking for, I know where it's coming from, There will be no surprises, and therefore, I don't have to attend the meeting. And hopefully it's not apathy. And we have pretty good turnout most of the time here. So Article 2, to see if the town will vote to transfer an amount of $60,000 from the fund balance account to the contingent account. Do I hear a motion?
So,
A second.
Second.
Okay, would one of the selectmen like to address the article?
well, what we've got a shortfall on the contingent, and we didn't raise enough money for Cumberland County assessment. So we paid that, we had enough money in there to pay the $25,000 the first year of it. It's cut us a little mite short and stuff, so we've still got to pay the second year that's up now. Plus we got a bill today for $11,000 for insurance, municipal insurance and stuff. So that's a $26,000 hit. That'll allow us to talk to Debbie where we're in 5 months left in the year. That'll give us $34,000 to work on for the rest of the year and stuff, out of contingent and stuff. So, and we don't know what else we got coming at us, more lawyers' fees, who knows right now. So that's why we're asking for the $60,000.
Joe?
Mr. Moderator, I had been under the impression that the fund balance had been divided up and different parts of it were devoted to different things. And I'm sorry if I don't remember something that was left just called fund balance. So I wonder what this was devoted to beyond just fund balance, or am I mistaken? And
So I think you're very accurate. A lot of time was spent on that. Would one of the selectmen like to address that?
I don't know, I think that would be Debbie's call on that, to be honest with you. She's the treasurer and stuff, she's the one that goes into the funds and moves the stuff around and stuff.
it's not going to affect my vote, I just wanted to be educated.
Well, I think, Joe, if you look at Article 3 or 4, you'll see those are coming out of some of those contingency accounts, particularly Article 3. And Article 2, there wasn't a contingency
Debbie's
account.
right here.
Debbie, would you like to address Article 2 to raise $60,000 from the fund balance out of the contingency account?
No, transfer it from the
Transfer.
fund balance to the.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're basically running low on the contingency account. We're actually negative $9,000 right now as of today's pay date. And, we had an unexpended, bill from Cumberland County this year for $25,000, which put us way behind. The insurances have gone up like a quarter from last year, and we just didn't raise enough this year to cover it all. So we just need the extra. I looked at last year's from July till the end of the year, and we basically do around 30,000. So that's what we're doing 30 plus the 15 because we need more for Cumberland County assessing. And so that's why where we got the number from.
Joe?
So we took the fund balance account, which was huge, and we divided it up into different silos or parcels or whatever. And we designated things as fund balance for X, for Y. I wondered,
Well, the selectmen might be able to help me out. My first opinion is that there wasn't a fund balance for the contingency account.
I'm just wondering what
There wasn't
part of
much
fund balance it's coming from.
that was coming from what we used to call surplus years ago.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to, but now we use the word fund balance because it sounds flowery, but anyway. Additional questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of Article 2, to see if the town will vote to transfer an amount of $60,000 from the fund balance to the contingency account, please raise their hand. Danielle counting?
Yep.
Opposed? You can put your hand up.
I want to make sure my vote is counted.
The article passes by a vote of how many, Deb?
9.
I'm sorry. 9-0. Article 3, see if the town will vote to authorize the expenditure of $30,000 from the town equipment account to spend on a new stainless steel body and sander combination for the Public Works Department. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A second.
Second.
Brian John, would you like to address this?
Yeah, the 2008 all-wheel drive big truck we have, when they put that together new, Tenco had two bodies. All of them went for the cheaper body. 3 or 4 years ago, we sandblasted it to save it what we could to get us by, and it's gone. You can look right down through the bottom of it, and the truck is fine. The truck's only got 39,000 on it, so we still got, it's 10 years old, so instead of buying a hopper sander, you put the body sander in it. We can have it for another truck when this one's worn out. Should last this truck and another life of a whole new truck again, so.
Any additional comments? Discussion?
So this really wasn't a surprise that this was coming up. I'm just wondering why it didn't come up at town meeting.
Well, we was in the middle of using it, and I didn't realize it was quite that bad, really. Till we, it went through the whole year, and we probably could get a little bit out of it, but if it dies January 20th, we're out of that whole truck for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I priced a new steel body, like what's on it, is $21,000. The stainless is $24,000. For $4,000 more stainless body, you've got to go with it. And the installation is $4,000 or $5,000 to have it done, so.
Thoughts?
Sounds like a good investment for me.
Any additional comments? All those in favor of Article 3 as read, please indicate by saying yes. Right hand. Going back to 26 years ago. Right hand. White's not voting.
12, yeah, okay, got 12.
All those opposed? Hearing none, Article 3 is passed as read. Article 4, to see if the town will vote to transfer a total of $10,000 from the fund balance account to the town fire truck maintenance account, which includes $5,000 for the purpose of emergency repairs and $5,000 for purchasing the jaws of life. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Jason?
I'll touch on the 5,000 for the town fire truck maintenance account. We raised 10,000 at town meeting, and this year we, that consists of servicing the truck, pump testing, pump servicing, which we are required to do by the Department of Labor and such. This year there was some unforeseen expenditures. We had one pump freeze up at a structure fire this winter, so those repairs were pretty costly and such. So what was it, $7 that we went over on that account? $6.85. So everything has been paid for that it needs to be done annually, but I figured we're coming to a special town meeting, we should probably get it out of the way now. Put $5,000 in there to get us to January 1st. It's unforeseen expenditures. So that's not gonna be something that, we got $5,000 in there, let's go, put this on the truck or buy this. It's just in case of an emergency, catastrophic failure or something like that goes on with one of the trucks. And, excuse me, the other $5,000 for the, jaws of life, the extrication tools. The current pump we have now in tool is like a 1989. It's what they call a combination tool. It will cut and it will spread. In 1989, 1995, that thing was a great tool. It was great. Now it's run by a gas-powered pump, and it doesn't always work when you need it to work. We do monthly and weekly truck checks, start it up, and sometimes it runs, sometimes it don't. And last fall, we did a lot of training with new battery-operated tools. It's been the up-and-coming thing for the last 7 or 8 years, and they've improved immensely in that time, but we went over to CIA in Limerick one night and cut up a bunch of cars with one. We got permission, by the way. With one dealer, they brought over a bunch of tools, and then the following evening, we went to the Cornish Fire Station with a different dealer and cut up a few vehicles. And with just the idea of seeing what they were capable of doing, we were like, we're not going to buy, because they were crazy money. And then in the spring of every year, there's these shows that go on in Indianapolis, Massachusetts, and things like trade shows. And I got offered this deal for a cutter, a spreader, and a ram, for a total of $21,000. That's almost half of what you would pay for a cutter, a spreader, and a ram in November, for crying out loud. You know, it's just how they market their product, and I was like, I'm not sure I can do that, and then we've just had numerous occasions where we really could use these tools, and it's with the idea of if we could get the 5,000 down, we will pay the rest yearly out of our operating budgets that we're given through town meeting, the 20,000 for each station. It's just, like I said, 98, so 31 years old, it's kind of, we prolonged the problem, you know, kept pushing it off, and we're really in a bind where we either kind of gotta jump now or.
Any additional comments, discussion, debate?
Yeah. What's the percentage calls that you need to use it on?
Honestly, we did 39 vehicle accidents in the town of Baldwin last year, in just Baldwin, with 7 or 8 actual extrications. You know, there's probably been more extra where the tool could be used, but, you know, to take the time and get the gas-powered motor going and things like that, get the hoses run, a lot of times you will smash a windshield. You do it not the proper way to, you know, in a panic to get somebody out of the vehicle.
We hope, does the rescue unit carry it?
What's that?
Does the rescue unit carry it, Johnson life?
No. Stannis's fire truck will, but there's been numerous times we've been called down there this summer because they've been out and we've had to use, they've called us for extrication. Actually, just last week they called us down there.
So extrication equipment is delegated to the fire department?
The fire, not the rescue,
okay.
exactly.
Any additional comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor of Article 4 as read, please raise your hand.
Kathy?
Opposed? Raise your hand. Article 4 is passed as read. Article 5, a motion to adjourn. So I hear a second.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment, raise your hand. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, they're in my pack.
Oh, okay, somebody wants to.
No, they're with us.
When I searched, you went to fight about my house.
Yeah, we got one. No, I brought some for you.
The town actually bought it.
I'll be right
Oh, yeah. But the one phone company saw it was there.
back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this will actually go down.
Yeah, at some point, I think we have to figure out how to make it happen. Because it seems like all these lines are so crowded.
It's quite a.
Everybody has all of these,
Yeah.
like half a page. Yeah, maybe, I don't know how to do that.
I
And
worked
I can
all
wind
summer.
up getting
And now the
like
new
a quarter
technology,
page, but I
everything
can't do a smaller version.
It's pretty radical. It's pretty.
Right, well, I think that what you put on there was simple enough and straightforward.
Yeah.
I went over to Trusting Guide, and she was talking about we can cut down, and she was saying, yep, I think that we can balance it out with, you know, sort of the decoration behind the word, and so it's not competing for space. Which is what I was trying to do, but you.
I've never seen that.
You need to do all. But I did, on the notice, send out. Right. Play around a little bit. Oh, nice. Great, that's great. No, but it really does.
When you buy with the tool, the battery
It's draw
comes with
attention.
$120.
But yeah, Carolyn, over at the shopping guy.
Exactly, you know, but the other dealer was
Anyway, she was relating to the event, right? The half day. Yes. And it was about books, so I thought it was perfect. And I think Gail will because the letters, important, and the ones that I put out, I put a little border around top of the page, so that it added a little layer of interest to it, and people were looking at, August 10th, okay, great, that's cool. That was just in.
I hated to tell him that I was impressed, but I was.
When you first put it out. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fine, that's when you get a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I can do it freehand, but I can't figure out how to use that. Yes. Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, not way. We got her out, but it was.
Right. Yeah.
You got a hammer.
Trying to provide a service, exactly, that's
Right.
we can provide a service. These people need one.
Get a phone to sign the warrants now. Once we put them back to warrants, I'm a little surprised they want more discussion tonight on, want to know more on the money situation. I thank you all for coming in here and listening to us and what we gotta do and stuff.
Look at like you worried about that.
Yeah, I know.
Right, well, you
I was
cover.
gonna say, tell us what we should be worried about.
Right. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, sometimes you get asked a question, Joe, and you can't answer it because I'm not the treasurer.
Right.
Now, I know somebody's there where the money is, somebody's there how much how much we've got in, so, and we're well within what we've got, we're working with stuff here, so that's a good thing.
And that's all I need to know.
Yeah. The next thing is new business, it's open the payment bids. You get 3 bids.
Yeah. Right. have something written in there on Wentworth Road?
Yeah, because they were hard on.
Because when we sent that out, it was 744 ton. It's supposed to have been doubled. Excuse me. So I called all the bidders and let them know on it.
1488.
I told them to just write it in, that, you know, that would be accepted. It was just, it should have been double that. What I do is I have Frank Carroll come over and, to be fair, and that they all bid the same thing, they always figure out what we're gonna need for pavement and tonnage for the year. And then I take their figures and we put it out for bid, what they, you know, just keep it the way it should be, I guess.
So that way somebody's not giving you a price of 1,200 ton versus 1,400
Yeah,
ton.
that way it's, they all bid on the same thing, just
Apples
what,
to apples.
yeah, Frank said it would take to do the job. When they put that together, he put 744 and he should have doubled it. And after Danielle printed it, they called me a day or two ago and said they screwed up, that should be doubled. So I called all the other paving guys and they were just gonna write it in, so.
So the price that they quoted is double now? Is that what you're telling me?
It should be for the 1,488 tons instead of 744 for the Wentworth Road. The rest of it's all the other is good. It was just Wentworth Road.
We don't have it on this bid here. We only got the 744 on this bid. Yeah.
Which one's that, Dayton?
Yeah.
No, I called Dana and told him he's gonna tell his estimator to put it on.
You guys get the same bid sheet as I get here?
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah, it's all, that's all 2655. Yeah. That's about 754 guys. Yeah. And the bottom is 1,488 and 13,080 for the guys. Yeah. The third one is 90 tons.
Danielle.
Yeah.
When did Dayton bring their bid, today, or did they?
It's dated on the envelope, I mean, time.
I didn't know if they mailed it before I told them.
No, everyone dropped it off by hand today. Yep.
Well, this one here on the Wentworth Road, they got the 744 times 7487. This is a times two.
If you look down below, handwritten in, there's another asterisk, an additional 744 tons, at the same rate. So it's the double quantity.
Yeah.
So that, this 114,000,
That's the new total with volume double.
okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure, so we compare apples to apples.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Yeah. So I just left out an EV sheet that's written down in front of you guys to search for.
Yeah.
Okay, so the total for the Senator Black, what will you guys have? I got $52,213.68.
Who is that, Dwight?
Allstate asphalt.
Can you repeat that? Dwight, can you repeat that, please?
$52,213.68.
Dayton Sand and Gravel, it's 58,760. I have Shaw Brothers, 58,410.
Okay, and the Wentworth Road, I got $114,134.06.
I got, from Dayton Sand and Gravel, is $129,405. I have Shaw Brothers, $124,290.
Okay, and the last one, the intersection of the Wentworth Road and Mountain Road, Graham Road, $8,606.35. $8,606.35.
I've got, $11,150. I
have 12,275.
Okay, the last thing, the McNeil Road, $11,230.50.
I have $12,750. $12,750. I have $14,700.
Looks like it, a little bit here from All States Asphalt. You wanna look at it, Brian?
No, as long as that's all, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wentworth for Allstate, how much? $114,000.
No, what, we got $114,000.
Yeah.
Brian, you're welcome to look at this. I didn't pull them up, I really calculated it. Is that within what you've got? So you're only gonna be able to do so much? Until your money runs out, right? Pretty much. What do we have? $135,000, something like that?
I think LRAP was, what we say, 40?
44, it went up 1,000, we got more this year, $1,000 more.
This year went up, so,
44 and
So
change.
it's $144,000.
yeah.
It might not be too bad.
This is why I wish at town meeting in March, we could put an article in there to, if there's any leftover in paving, it could go into a paving account and stay there. You know, $3,000 more is $3,000 more, you know? Instead of putting it in fund balance and losing it and trying to raise it again, maybe we could build it up a little, you know? Just thought.
I just have a question on this. If he doesn't have enough money, for some reason to do all the roads, are we bidding this back out to finish next year? We kinda ran into that this year. Does it get bid back out, or because of the price change?
Oh, the price will change.
It does, doesn't it? So if he can't finish it, it will, whatever doesn't get finished will get bid out next year.
That'll be Brian's call, I tell you, but as far
Right.
as it being any cheaper, there's no way. If anything, it's gonna be more.
How does that work if
What's that, Daniel?
they are awarded this bid and say you can't do McNeil Road this year,
Yep, have to rebid again.
you're gonna rebid it, okay.
That's what we did on Center Back to finish this last coat we didn't have.
Because the price of aggregates change, the price of labor changes, price of insurance changes.
What was Frank's bid on Center Black? That's all right, 50-something.
52,213.
And he said he would have done it last year for 47.
Yeah, so that's $5,000 difference in just a year or something like that.
The time of year make a difference in paving? Middle of the year, end of the year, beginning of the year?
Depends on if the price of fuel goes up.
If you're rolling by.
If gas and crude oil's going down, it should reflect, you know?
Right.
That's what they base their tonnage on, is the amount of tablet, so, patrol.
I just question on the contract that middle of the year, you're busy, the
Yeah.
price may be a little bit higher because
Exactly.
it's stretched out. End of the year, you may get a better quote.
Especially when
In the year, they usually push it to get it done too, you know, you might not be able to get it. And the temperature, if it goes right in the second end of October, the temperature goes closer, you can't pay. Okay, that was new business under old business, planning board appointment, I've asked to table that one till next time. Ben Thompson's here, I don't, they're gonna talk about the revaluation of land.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit of an update on that. Still need some information from you guys. I met with you back on things that we need. When we go down, sounds like.
Yeah, really.
Alright. So I'm still looking for a list of dangerous properties. Sex offenders, violent offenders, hostile taxpayers.
Sex offenders, yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, your hostile taxpayers.
Oh.
You get those solo.
Came on the right night, didn't I?
We've been challenged on some stuff here lately. That's why I called for a show of hands vote tonight, because we've been challenged on emails on what has been passed and what hasn't been passed, on the yay, nay, votes and stuff. So tonight I wanted it, that's why I asked for that to be concrete, to be counted. That's gonna be on the list.
Yeah, I've met with KRT a couple weeks ago, before. We're kind of finalizing what we're gonna be looking for as far as codes going into, the vision of the camera system. Really nothing to do with you guys, but just, are we gonna chase this, are we gonna chase this, whatever. So we're still finalizing that kind of thing. I know they were planning on getting out towards the end of July, 1st of August, but we really need that dangerous taxpayers list.
Is that the hottest thing?
That's the hottest thing right now, definitely. We don't wanna send anybody into a dangerous situation. So I can't remember, if it was only you, 'cause I have a selectmen's workshop. I didn't write down who was there, if it was only you and I, or you were there too, right? Yeah, I figured I'd stop by tonight, because it's difficult to catch all three of you at the same time.
Yeah, right.
We still gotta post that. We talked about having a meeting or something first, right?
Yeah, we can do that, and run out of time, to do that. So I don't know what you wanna do as far as the general public. You wanna have a meeting with the general public, kind of let them know, or what you wanna do, because we gotta pull the trigger on what we're gonna do here. You wanna just put it on the website?
And also, we talked about, making sure that the person that comes to the house has credentials.
Yep.
You talked about sometimes maybe they got a jacket, if not, they got a tag.
They will have a tag, they will have, magnets on the cars, from what I understand, so I believe vehicles will also be identified, as KRT appraisal. What we're gonna do, like I say, some of this stuff, I haven't got an answer back from them, I think due to vacations, due to the holiday. But I want electronic photos of who's gonna be in the field, so we can post it, whether you wanna put it on the website here, or just link it down to ours, so I can create a page, under the Baldwin site, that will say reval. We can just identify who they are, what they are. We can probably put on their plan of action. Again, I think they're gonna, they're not gonna start without letting me know, hey, we're going. I don't expect that you're gonna, I'd be very surprised if I get a phone call saying, hey, we're getting complaints here because somebody's on somebody's property. I'm gonna know before that happens, and I'll let you guys know. They also plan on sending a letter out in advance, right across the whole town, in everybody's mailbox, saying this is what our plan of action is. And it's gonna be one letter up front saying this is our plan to be covering these tax maps during these dates. And so that should give you a plan right through to the very end, that one up front letter. So so if you're in tax map 1, for example, you should know when you're expecting these guys to come out.
Well, I think we probably all have a shopper's guide too, because everybody, a lot of tribal around here and stuff, but everything that's going on and stuff like that, a lot of people do that. So the other thing is, like tonight, when I looked at my Kindle and stuff, and I'm pouring up there, that was the special town meeting first thing come up.
On Facebook.
Yeah. So I think maybe on Facebook, we reach as many people as we can.
I believe they're also gonna give me a press release that we can then just forward to you, so you can put it in
Like a
there.
poster type of thing? If you
Yeah, I
could-
don't have it yet,
That's
so
what
I
I
don't know.
mean, if I could just like take a shot of it and really distribute it, that'd be easy. Same thing in the Shoppers Guide website, so it's consistent, Facebook.
I don't think it's a surprise to anybody, but just reinforce that we want to do what stuff.
Right.
We gotta do it sometime, we might as well get it started, get it done.
Yeah, I've always found people in Baldwin, and, you know, I've worked over in Hiram myself personally as well, and people are very receptive, you know, as long as they're respectful to them anyway.
Well, I think this might be the most.
We don't have any issues, I've never had any issues up there, so.
No doubt, we got some hostile people, no doubt about it, so we'll give you a list on that.
Yeah.
The ones that we know, you might find something that we don't know.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's possible, yeah. Let's see what else we got. Any property that's posted no trespassing, they're not gonna go to, they're just gonna bypass. They'll send a follow-up letter requesting permission to go in. If there's no response to the follow-up letter, then it will not get assessed, just make externally from the road, that's what I should say. There'll be no internal if we can't get in, you know, if they can't get in. But like I say, they will attempt to send a letter to them, that individual, whoever, you know, and, explain why they wanna be on the property to measure and whatever. And looking for the taxpayer hopefully to reach back out. You know, whatever they wanna do, I'll run into that person myself, but now you're not coming in the house, but you're gonna measure the outside only. You have the right to refuse. One other thing, let's just stick on that one. They're gonna need a place to work, mostly it's gonna be more remote on Citrix like we do. And they're gonna try to do a lot of it out in the field, but we're only here like on Friday, every other Friday, first and third I should say. They may be in and out obviously a little more often, so if that computer's available, same as we always have.
They have a lot of paperwork they can set up right here, and kind of set up camp, we just
I
need
think
to.
eventually when you actually get to the hearings, you know, we get down to the final other side of it, when all the valuations have been put in the system, what they'll do is they're gonna go out and do an initial inspection, say the whole town's done, probably looking at next spring at that point. They're gonna do a quick drive-by. I mean, I've done this before myself, where you just drive by and you're basically looking, did I miss anything? You know, you got the card in your hand, did I miss anything? Did anything change since I've been here, you know, that kind of thing. They're not gonna really get out again unless they have to. It's just gonna be a quick drive-by, finalize, they'll put the values together, letters will be sent out with your new values, land and building values, and people will have the opportunity to set up an appointment to challenge them or question them. And that would work well in this area here, probably. Depending on how many, requests that they get, will depend on how many days they're gonna make themselves available, obviously. If people don't respond, then 1 or 2 days may suffice. If you get a lot of calls, it might be a week. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, do you guys have any questions as far as reval that I haven't touched on? No, that's good.
I have a question about the posted property.
Yep.
You can't get onto their property, you're just gonna assume and guess what they have?
They're gonna do the best estimate that they can.
Say it's a large piece of property, the house is back in the corner, you can't see anything but woods around it. I just want to be fair for everybody,
Okay,
everybody gets evaluated.
So by main law, that's your first point of refusal, the posted sign. You know, so most people are gonna say, you could kind of debate the point that you expect somebody to drive in your driveway and knock on your door. Probably most people do. So, but they're drawing the line right there. If it's posted, they're not gonna go on. They're gonna send a letter out and hoping that the taxpayer responds to that letter. Otherwise, you get Google Earth that you can get a rough measurement on the property, figure what's there. There are other ways, but yeah, they'll be asked to.
Do they call them?
They would have no contact phone number for them.
We have all that here. We paid for a monthly search engine for foreclosure
Yep.
deals. So
Didn't
I'm
discuss
just
that
saying
with
that's a resource, if they
Yep.
if they can't get on,
Yep.
we can provide the phone number that's on record anyway, whether it works or not, and
Yep.
it's just one more step.
I'll mention that one. That's okay with you. Well, it's up to them whether they want to or not, I mean, but it makes sense, I mean, you can, it should be very few, I would think. I mean, that,
We've chased some stuff.
We have, and we've been pretty successful that way. It's worth the $12 a month, and that's all it costs, so.
The other thing I do have is away from the rebound, is a letter for a new application for a tree growth. New owners purchase the property, they have 1 year to make up their mind what they wanna do, either re-enroll, withdraw. So, it's here, I can actually, it's just a letter that goes out.
We just did some resources.
Yeah, this was just telling them that they have 1 year, feel free to go down and read through it. 1 year to research, it's a little different letter.
Are you taking those back with you, or do you want me to?
Yeah, if I can, I'll take a copy
I'll
back.
give you a copy of the other one too.
Yeah, might as well.
Save us some stuff.
Okay. Are you leaving us right now? I'll just go.
Jason's gone, huh?
Wait, can I ask why you tabled the appointment to the planning board?
We've had some challenges in front of us.
So I would like the opportunity to answer the challenge. Public.
Give us, probably the next one, give us a little bit of time to stop moving. Get some people have that challenge. If they don't come, they don't challenge. That's why. What else have we got?
Done a good job. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did have another question. Last year, at whatever point, there was a discussion about whether you guys wanted to change the form of government to a single assessor or not. Up to you, I'm not pushing one way or the other, but I just wanted to remind you, we were short by 3 days last year when we wanted to get that done. So, it's put a bug in your ear, if they're still thinking that way, that you wanna probably pull that together. Certain number of days, that Debbie can help you better than I can with the number of days backwards that you have to give notice and all that. 9 days, I think it was.
9 days before something,
So that's something important to work too.
Putting a bug in your ear, yeah. You got very new, so.
What that pretty much boils down to is you take over a lot of that stuff, but
All the assessing, right now, we're running back and forth, like Danielle just went. It might be easier going forward, as the new director, if it works out okay, then I might come up here myself and just do the signatures and get copies and I can go back, I don't know. But right now, we're waiting a long time to have a lot of this stuff back and forth, just because of the time between your meetings. It makes it a little bit difficult to follow up on paperwork.
I've had somebody ask the question, would that give you total control, or what, of the tax assessing, and you still have to approve that's what they're doing?
No, as the assessor, that would change it from 4 to a single. I'm not pushing either way, but the other thing that, apart from valuation, signing off on valuation, you would still have to sign off on that, but we could make a vote that we could actually sign letters, like that's not a valuation changing, that's just a letter going out to the taxpayer saying, hey, even something like that would make it a little easier. At the time when we came on, understandably, you guys were gun shy, town was gun shy, to have anybody do that, but there's options, whatever.
I don't think we understood it 100%. Right. Yeah, it's the law and stuff, but you're right, you wonder if you lose, ultimately, it's gonna come down to us anyway.
Right, yeah.
So, you just wonder if you lose some of that control, if it falls through the cracks and stuff.
Yeah, no, once you separate, I'll be clear, if you do decide to go to a single assessor, you will separate, the assessor will then have the decision-making power, whatever, you couldn't overturn that. Say, well, I think it should be 110, and the assessor's the assessor, you guys would remove that tab off your head if you chose to go that route.
And most towns do, right?
It's up to you, I mean, every town's home rule stands, a lot of towns have a separate assessor.
But what's this law,
I'm sworn in Casco, Yarmouth, Falmouth, and go on right now.
is the law get through that, like, the selectmen can't assess anymore? I know there's a law in front of the legislature that they didn't think selectmen had the authority or the knowledge to assess houses or something, they wanted a professional assessor to come up with the assessments.
It was out there.
I haven't heard more about it, I see the legislative thing or something.
No, I guess the only other thing I can update you on is that your homestead next year, this year, will go to 25, yeah.
I see that, and I see like farm credit stuff on that.
Yeah.
You know, what, 10,000 to 25,000, and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, you got anything?
That's all I got now.
You guys all know them.
Right, I would just like to say, I think the letter is the most important thing there are. If they get a letter in the mailbox, then they should be reading it. If they throw it away, that's their problem. But, you know, if you put shopper's guide, if you make phone calls, you do all of those things. You know, public hearings, you may get as many as you did tonight. But I think a personal letter in everybody's mailbox makes a hell of a difference. Whether they reject it or accept it, just as long as they know about it. And you're not gonna please everybody.
No, I'm a firm believer in that.
Right. Do you think it's worth an informational meeting on a workshop or something?
Myself, if it was posted, I don't think it would be a bad idea. You know, just, you know, if people don't have some questions.
I think it'd be
It's been so
beneficial.
long since we've had one. You know, and I think everybody's a little nervous and apprehensive about it, but.
That's what I'm hearing in the office anyway, so.
Yeah. So when I see somebody out in the street and stuff, I get that on it, stuff like that also. Yeah, so I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, if you want me to come back up some evening or something like that, I assume an evening works easier, or Saturdays, or whatever, you let me know. I'll make myself available.
He's got a can pop on right before there, so this works in his favor sometimes.
I'll be where I am.
Yeah. All right. Community center.
Did you have that signed? I'll take it back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Good contact?
Community center update, the auxiliary, the Bolton Auxiliary Yard Sales, July 27th and 28th. The Summer Tai Chi on Tuesday morning, it's gonna extend into August now, from 10 to 11:30. The program for the kids is doing pretty well. I don't know how many kids there was today, do you know how many kids there was today, 22, 23? Yeah. No, really, probably about that. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, I'm pretty sure that what I told you this morning, the first year was 25,000, but we didn't get that bill until June of this year. Sweep the devil right back.
They got, he has a plan with that. I'm not sure why this is, any questions on the contract?
Okay.
Ben, we were just talking about, remember when I called you to get the bill, because we didn't get a bill, and then finally sent me the bill that day? And then we got a lapse in there, you know, about 6 months, but the contract's for 25,000, then 15,000, 15,000 and stuff.
And the original, do you have the old contract or the new one?
That was a 3-year contract originally, but
Right, okay, yeah.
they sent us.
I know Renee brought that to Jim's attention, that you guys are on an annual tax year, so the fiscal tax year mentality doesn't really work well. I'll bring it to his attention again. But technically, that first 25,000 should cover from that January, because we started January 1st.
That's big.
To December, yep. So the next, I guess, that you just raised tonight would be for this year we're in right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we got one more year after that, so.
It'll be the previous month. We won't pay on monthly, if you give us a monthly option. Okay.
I'm not high enough up the totem pole to have the contract and understand the terms, so I don't know. I can go back and check though. I mean, I can look at what you got and then go back and question.
Yeah, I can check it.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex and Jim handle that end of it.
Well, don't don't be, you know, at the end of the year, don't be afraid to send a bill if they want to do it some other way or something.
Yeah.
You know, so we can just stay on it.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of stay on the top of it also. Clear all that stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay. Danielle, are you going to this FEMA Fox meeting, is that you?
It's me and the fire department, Jason. Eric is coming from the fire department. They're actually gonna, review potential, they call them C-pod sites. They don't think there's any in Baldwin, but they're gonna come assess it. Just kind of talk to the fire department to see if there are any. So, they're doing the whole Cumberland County. FEMA just kind of moved in and what they're doing for the whole county, so that's our time slot. So Eric's gonna ride around with them and kind of assess the situation, so.
Let's see whether, at least knowing the 3 fire departments and their 3 points, if they could do something. Right?
Yeah, so, yep. Ron Jones is coming, I believe, too, from Cumberland County. Ron Jones? Yep.
Friday, July 19th, for assessing hours, make it 12. Monday, July 22nd, is the Sanborn meeting, 7 o'clock right here. Selectmen's workshop is the 23rd at 6:30. And planning board meeting is the 25th at 7 o'clock. That's all I got here today. You guys got anything?
I believe I'm gonna have Peter Herron present at the same board meeting. Can you confirm your email?
Not yet.
Okay. I spoke with him today.
That'd be good.
I put your email too, so we're probably with Peter Herron over there.
I really want to go to spend in the pond and stuff like this. Most of my residents are concerned about some of this stuff. How's it been around so far?
Actually, I haven't been down there very much because I was sick for a couple of weeks. I've run down every once in a while, but never stayed very long.
So you're gonna feel good Saturday or something?
Yeah, I am.
Supposed to be up roughly 100 degrees Saturday and Sunday.
This morning there was only 6 people down there.
Well, Ronnie, you went up with your grandchildren and stuff, there's only 4 people, they use them. Good water. Is that buoy still in place and everything? That surprises me a little bit. I think that's a good thing.
They haven't been moving those noodles around, have they?
Yeah.
A little bit. One of them was torn off. It was all ripped up. I just threw it away.
Yeah. We got 20 noodles that we want. Next year we're talking a couple bucks a noodle, maybe another 20 more. The road that I have, this one's concrete blocks as I have. We got everything done. What's that? Yeah, well, that was $400 for the buoys, but that was on last year. This year we spent less than $100. We have $16 worth of concrete blocks, and I had $40 worth of rope. It was $56 worth of.
$52.
$52 worth of noodles. So, okay.
We got a lot of praise about it.
Yeah, I've heard all good stuff. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Peter Herron is the local game warden. Yep. Because he's also a team staff.
He's a pretty good guy. Pretty strict. I wonder what myself. Yeah.
We get rid of that picnic table a week or two ago down there.
Still gotta bring the other one down.
That's all I got.
That tree down there, that big pine, I think the only way to cut that's in the winter time, fall it right on the ice and drag it off. It's leaning right out over the wall. It's only one way it's gonna go.
That's the one put up for the glass.
Towards the boys' camp, yeah. You know, might be better off in the winter to do it, really.
Do you do that? Drop them on the.
Should be that big. You can check, but if you clean it all off, I think it would be. It was noise fishermen, remember?
No, that's what's.
Yeah. it's gonna be a mess if you fall in the water. Well, it's gonna be a mess.
The bucket truck is close enough to that,
So,
so it isn't even all over the water.
I mean, we could build a spot for a truck to get in there, but that's opening up more trouble. That's all I was suggesting, maybe that's a way to do that, I don't know.
You know, some of these meetings, we've had a lot of good things come out of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, we worry about more out-of-town people coming in and using the beach and stuff like that, but the residents and stuff around that, they worry about parking, they worry about jet ski use, they worry about boats with big motors in there. There's been a lot of stuff that's been brought up that we didn't even think about, did we? You know, so it's kind of interesting to listen. One thing that's brought up was maybe expand the parking lot. But you only got so much beach, so if you add that many more cars, you know, you might have an overload on the beach again and stuff like that. I don't know if you can go
You know, what's the boundary lines, you can go much more.
I don't think you can either, Brian, because they think your flagging tape's almost right on the corner.
If you look, there's pins, I don't know that you can go much.
We said the same
Over
thing.
there.
Then a couple of them said, you know, go towards the Boy Scout camp where the town owns that stuff up through there.
You know,
You fooling with, you know, wetlands and stuff like that and everything, so. I wouldn't have thought.
it's a good small beach.
All right, make a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, last Tuesday, when I picked up the trash, there was a couple of guys who were helping me, and they got so trash. And I did also. Is there any way that you can have somebody pick that stuff up? I mean, they're quick, just cut it.
How many times a week do they have to get there?
Once a week.
Just once a week, so
I usually do it every Tuesday.
we can look into it. Because I don't know who the guy is, but I know my neighbors have the trash picked up. You know who it is with that old red truck? McCormick? Bill McCormick from Holland? Red truck? No, it's an old, blue reamer.
Melon in it.
Melon.
Yeah, I know what it is, Bill.
Cornish.
We can see, is that something you can do, Danielle, just call, get a rate on that?
I can call Melon, yeah.
Yeah, just
Melon's in Cornish,
see if
once
they'd
a
be
week.
interested in doing it, see what the rate's gonna be. It's about 355 gallon drums, right?
Is there anyone else local other than Melon? You don't want a dumpster company, do you?
No.
This is the guy,
Yeah.
Dwight.
Well,
This is the guy in St. Paul.
Guy in Steve Falls.
Yeah, we
Eric.
were periods on the used to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric, I don't know if he does.
Eric?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can call.
And Bill McCormick will get 3 quotes.
Bill McCormick.
Bill McCormick.
McCormick.
I'll forward you the number.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 50% of the fabulous.
Last Tuesday, it was the one that's on the beach down to the, on the left. There was 3 bags of garbage there.
Somebody left them in there?
It was from the people at the beach. Cause the week before, I was out sick, so nobody took care of the trash. So there's a couple other bags besides that one.
Well, I've been in there for a week now, the trash that was left in that lane, is that chicken up now?
I took care of it, all except for the brush.
Yeah, I'll leave the brush there too. Did you call Hamilton Sheriff's on that,
Which one?
on when they left the trash barrels and the?
Tires and your gas.
We did, yeah. They took all the information, and cause someone called in with a plate number that dumped it.
Yeah, they had to plate pictures and stuff.
Yep, so we called that in, and they said they'd take care of it, so I didn't hear anything back.
Well, that went a couple weeks, didn't they? We went in there and checked a couple times, and nothing happened. The gas cans disappeared first, and then the tires were, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we reported everything to them.
Just left the rest of it, and I took care of that car.
Let's go. We told, Nate, Terrio, he's a going cop. He told Nate about it. Nate stopped and run the, said, he called the, it's gone. I don't know if he did it or somebody come, I don't know, but it isn't there.
We got a problem in the office here, something, the sheriff had to be called, so we talked to the sheriff to see if we could get them in there once in a while. And they haven't gone in for it. We've been talking to the residents, they've seen somebody, they've seen sheriffs at night in Woodland, and they've seen them sitting there during the day, but our problem is, most of the sheriffs are on the other side of the lake. So when you call a sheriff, they're coming from Raymond, Casco, Wyndham,
Well, my side, there too, the crime side is the.
yeah, that's what they said. They said we're in a low, yeah.
That's good.
Well, we only have 2 sheriffs that run the area.
They got 7 now, Standish.
Wow.
And I hear through the grapevine, they just hired 3 more. And one of those, they come the other day, Danielle, he was from Standish, remember?
Yep.
So they said, we had somebody they quit, they sent a guy right up to Standish.
So now, speaking of, we're gonna have ACO coverage in office hours every Friday now.
See, that happened, that fiscal year goes June stuff, so now that's when it starts. We'll see another little bill on that, but it is what it is. Anybody else get anything? Nobody? All right. Want to take a vote to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.